Hey, what's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to the Jilly Ray Ray Real Talk 1111, where we dive deep into conversations about life, all right? And I want to thank you guys for tuning in with me. I really do, all right? Okay, and today we're going to dig deep, okay? We're going to dig deep into the real conversations about life, growth, and everything in between. Again, it's your girl Jilly Ray Ray, and today's episode is a big one, you guys, okay? All right. I know it's something a lot of us need to hear, and we're talking about it and why it's better to be alone than surrounded by fake people who really don't like you, okay? All right. Now, if you guys could do me a favor and like, share, and subscribe, and leave your comments and reviews in the comment sections of the sectors down below. You can check me out on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and also YouTube Radio and Amazon Radio as well. Now, let me ask you something. Have you ever found yourself in a room full of people but still felt completely alone? Maybe you're surrounded by friends, family, or coworkers, but deep down, you know that some of them really don't have your back. It's like you can feel the fake smiles, the passive aggressive comments, and the energy just doesn't sit right. If that sounds familiar, today's episode is for you. All right? And if you had a situation like that, don't be scared to drop your stories, your reviews down in the comment section below. And thank you guys for tuning in. All right. And we're going to get started with the first segment of the podcast today, and the reality of fake relationships. Okay. Let's start by keeping it real and letting it be known. Being around people who don't like you or don't respect you is exhausting. We all want to be loved and accepted, but sometimes we find ourselves in relationships or friendships that are built on shaky ground, okay? Maybe you have that one friend who always makes jabs at your choices, always, low key sneak disses on what you have going on, always is in your business asking what you're going to do before you actually do it so they can prey on your weaknesses and your downfall. You know what I'm saying? Or a group that invites you out, but you're always on the outside looking in. It's like they tolerate you, but you know what I'm saying? At the same time, they don't really truly support you, okay? And y'all, let me tell you, that feeling of being tolerated instead of truly loved, that's toxic, okay? Whether we admit it or not, staying in those spaces does damage to our confidence, our self worth, and our peace of mind, okay? You might find yourself wondering, is it me? What am I doing wrong? Why don't these people like me? Why doesn't my family accept me? You know, but let me tell you right now, it's not you. It's the energy that you're surrounding yourself with. And guess what? Everyone is not going to like you, okay? Everyone is not going to be accepting of the things that you do and the things that you have going on, okay? Respect that, learn that, and understand that. And once you do, you will be better off being alone and being by yourself and building yourself up by yourself, okay? Because being alone makes you strong, all right? Being alone makes you strong. I want you guys to drop that down in the comment section. Being alone makes you strong, okay? And the power of being alone, here's the thing, it's okay to be alone. In fact, it's better to be alone than to keep toxic people around you just so you won't feel lonely. I know that can sound scary. We're social creatures, right? Let's be real. We crave connection, attention, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with that. But being alone doesn't mean you're lonely. It just means you're choosing yourself over situations that just don't serve you anymore. And that's okay, okay? Just a little personal story. I remember a time in my life, a few years back where I was constantly surrounding myself with people who were not really for me. I show up to their events, show up and be there for them, do things for them, making sure that they were straight before I was straight myself. You know what I'm saying? But deep down inside, I always felt this heaviness like I didn't belong and they really didn't like me. And honestly, it wasn't until I took a step back and spent time alone that I realized how much energy I was wasting trying to fit into spaces that did not, you know, that did not appreciate me, going places that, and with people that did not appreciate me whatsoever. I had to pause and do a little self reflection. You know what I mean? And when you're alone, you give yourself space to reflect, to grow, and to really to get to know yourself. Okay, that's powerful. I mean, it's really powerful. You might not look at it and see it now, but once you step back from those people that you know that don't mean you no good and that are really fake, you really will become a very powerful person. Okay, you can't hear your own voice when you're drowning in other people's opinions. Okay, stay true to you. Being alone gives you clarity. It lets you reset your energy, your boundaries, and your priorities. Okay, all right. And Jilly Ray Ray told you best. And like I said, you're tuned into the Jilly Ray Ray Real Talk Podcast 1111. If you guys could like, share, and subscribe for me, thank you so, so much. And I do appreciate you guys listening to this segment. I truly, truly do. All right. And now let's just keep going because I got to get this out. Okay. Now let's talk about how to embrace solitude and make the most of being alone, okay? Because being alone doesn't mean you're being miserable. It can actually be one of the most empowering, fulfilling times of your life, okay? Redefine what alone means, okay? First off, let's change the narrative, okay? Being alone isn't a bad thing. Let it be known and let's keep it real, okay? Let's keep it real. It's time to reframe it as an opportunity to invest in yourself where you're not worried about pleasing others or maintaining fake relationships. You have the freedom to focus on what you want. You can set goals, start new hobbies, or just take a deep breath and enjoy your own company. Alone time is your time and nobody else's, okay? Also, what I want you guys to do is set boundaries. Let me say it one more time. Set boundaries, okay? It's important to set boundaries with people who drain your energy, excuse me. You don't owe anyone your time or your presence if they're not adding value to your life, okay? If they're not adding value to your life, please get them away from you, okay? It's draining, it's toxic, and it's just downright not right, okay? Learn how to say no. Saying no to people who don't respect you isn't just a choice, it's a form of self care. And trust me, once you start setting those boundaries, you'll notice a huge shift in your peace of mind. Trust me. Okay? Learn how to find joy in your own company. This is a big one, you guys, okay? Learn to enjoy your own company, okay? Be your own best friend. Whether it's taking yourself out to dinner, binge watching your favorite TV shows, or just sitting in silence with a journal and your book, finding joy in doing things by yourself, you'll realize that being alone doesn't feel lonely when you actually like who you're spending your time with. And that's you, okay? Let's be real. You're tuned into the Jilly Ray Ray Real Talk 1111 podcast. And I want you guys to do me a favor, drop your comments, your stories, your reviews down in that comment section. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and jump into the next segment, excuse me, which is releasing the fear of loneliness. Okay. Now I get it. The fear of being alone can be real. You might be thinking, but Jilly, what if I cut off these people and I have no one left? That's a valid fear. But here's what I want you to remember: quality over quantity, okay? It's better to have one or two people in your life who truly care about you than to have a whole circle of people who don't, a whole circus of clowns. You do not need that, okay? Learn solitude, okay? Get over the fear of being lonely, okay? All right, let's keep it real and let it be known. Sometimes God in the universe creates space in our lives by removing people who aren't really meant to stay. Some are meant for only a season. Okay? Some are meant to only come into your life to show you lessons. Remember that. And yeah, that space can feel empty at first, but that's okay. It's an invitation to fill that space with things that can uplift you. It's a chance to attract new relationships that are built on love, respect, and just pure power. Okay? Excuse me. Don't be afraid of that space either. Embrace it. Trust that letting go of people who don't have your best interest at heart, you're making room for better things to come. Trust me, I've been there, done that. And once I release and let people go, God sent me way better things, way better people, and put me in way better places, okay? And that will come in time. You'll find yourself surrounded by people who truly see you and love you for who you are and not what you have, not what you have to offer. Materialistically, you know what I mean? All right. Now, y'all know I love hearing from you guys. And I asked you guys on Instagram to send in your thoughts and questions about being alone. And as always, you guys came through. Now, let's just get into a couple of them, okay? Question and answer Q&A, all right? Now, from listener number 1, whose name is, what is, from Kamaya. She asked, how do you deal with guilt of cutting people off even when you know they're not good for you? Oh, yes, girl. This hit home. The guilt can be real at first, but here's the truth. You're not responsible for others people's feelings, especially when they're not treating you right. It's okay to feel guilty, but don't let that guilt keep you stuck in toxic situations. Just don't do it. You have to prioritize your well being. Okay, sweetheart. Remember that, Kamaya, okay? All right, let's see what else here. Question and answer from listener number 2. His name is Jackson. He said, how do you know when it's time to let go of a friendship? Listen, my guy, trust your intuition. If you constantly feel drained, unsupported, or like you're walking on eggshells around someone, that's a big sign. Okay? Pay attention to how you feel after spending time with people. If it's more negative than positive, it's time to reevaluate. Okay? It's time to reevaluate. Let those negative people go and trust your intuition and move forward. Okay. Always move forward. Always go with your gut instinct. Always go with what you feel is right. Okay. Remember that. It's Jilly Ray Ray. You're here listening to the Jilly Ray Ray Real Talk 1111 podcast. Please, please, please do so and subscribe to the channel, like the channel, share the channel, let someone listen to it, that is not familiar with my channel. It would be gladly appreciated. Thank you so much. All right, fam. And that's all I've got for today's episode. I hope this conversation gave you some clarity and the confidence to choose yourself. Remember, it's better to be alone than to be surrounded by fake love, okay? When you love yourself and respect yourself, you'll attract the right people who love and respect you too, okay? Take your time to set those boundaries and enjoy your own company. You deserve real love, starting with the love you give yourself. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to subscribe, leave a comment or review, and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. You know, I appreciate all the love and support. Until next time, I'm Jilly Ray Ray, and this is the Jilly Ray Ray Real Talk 1111. Stay blessed and keep shining. All right.